Hello and welcome back to racing, this time here at the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Now, if all goes according to plan, this should be our final race of the first season. Now, will that go according to plan? I don't know. But there's 16 trucks here today. One of them's got to win, and not many of them are repeats, so we should have a pretty good chance. Anyway, as always, let's go to our friend the BeamNG monster truck to help us demonstrate how this track is going to work for today. Here he is. So, as always, each truck will start at the starting line, at which point is here. Now, normally, the spot right in front of you is not covered in dirt, but today it is. You're going to have to race up that, trying not to hit the pole as they proceed to turn themselves around. If they hit a pole, it'll be an extra 5 seconds to their time. They'll have to then come down the straightaway, enter this really tight turn here, go up a ramp, and then they will go across the finish line, and as always, first across the finish line will win. So, with that explained, let's move on to round one. Our first race of round one is Budweiser against Arachnophobia. Off the starting line they go, up into what is basically the stands, bringing their trucks around. Budweiser having some trouble there. Arachnophobia pulls the lead. Into the turn Arachnophobia goes, Budweiser following behind. Arachnophobia hits the ramp first, and it will be Arachnophobia who will move on to round number two. Our next two competitors are Avenger and Suzuki. Off they go down the starting line into the first turn. Suzuki racing down the straightaway, Avenger not far behind. Into the first turn, they seem fairly even. Suzuki pulls a slight lead, up the ramp they go, and Suzuki will beat Avenger across the finish line, moving on to round two. Our next competitors for the first round are Gravedigger and Haul Y'all. Down the starting line they go, up into the first turn. Both trucks seem to have a little bit of trouble. Haul Y'all pulls away from Gravedigger. Into the final turn, Haul Y'all makes it turn. Gravedigger follows shortly behind. Up the ramps they go. Haul Y'all will cross first, and Gravedigger will lose their rear wheel. Hopefully we'll be able to see Gravedigger back. Up next we have Rage and Max D. Yet another CRC truck here. Up they go down the starting line. Into the first turn. Racing down the straightaway, Max D pulls ahead. Into the turn they go. Max D taking it rather wide. They hit the ramp at the same time. Who will make it first? It will be Max D as Rage bumps off the ramp. Up next we have Be Aware and the FTI Torque. Down the starting line they go. Up into the turn. Both trucks seem pretty close to each other, heading down the straightaway. It's all down to the final turn. FTI Torque makes it tighter. Up the ramp they go. And FTI Torque will win round one. Up next we have El Toro Loco Black and Outlaw. Off the starting line, the two trucks go into the first turn. Outlaw making the turn rather nicely, coming down into the straightaway. Into the turn Outlaw goes. El Toro Loco swinging it out. Outlaw having some trouble up the ramp, but Outlaw will cross the line before El Toro Loco. Up next we have Crazy Train and Maiden. Off the starting line, both trucks go, engines revving as they make it up the first turn. Crazy Train having some trouble taking it quite wide there. Into the final turn, Maiden goes. Crazy Train follows behind, but it's too late. Maiden has crossed the finish line. Our final competitors for round 1 are High Roller and Monster Energy. Off the starting line they go. Into the first turn, Monster Energy taking it tight, getting really close to that turning pole. Down the straightaway, both trucks go. Into the final turn. Both trucks swinging it out rather wide. High Roller had a little bit of trouble in the turn, and it will be Monster Energy moving on to round 2. Alright, here we have the bracket leading into round number 2. We've quite a lot of trucks that were in the right lane in round number 2. Let's see if the right lane will have the same amount of luck for our competitors today, or whether it's all just skill. Starting off round 2, we have Arachnophobia and Suzuki. Down the starting line they go. Arachnophobia starting off a little bit sooner than Suzuki. Down they go in the straightaway, entering the first turn. Both trucks take it rather wide. Suzuki having some trouble straightening themselves out, which gives enough time for Arachnophobia to move on to the next round. Up next we have Max D and Hall Y'all. Down they go, off the starting line, into the first turn. Max D having some problems, but Hall Y'all taking it a little wide. Max D's still a little squirrely as they go down the straightaway, but pulls ahead of Hall Y'all all down to this final turn. Max D pulls ahead, and it will be Max D who moves on to the next round. Up next for round 2, we have the FTI Torque and Outlaw. Down the starting line, both trucks go. Up in the first turn. Both trucks taking it rather wide, but FTI Torque having a little bit of trouble. See if they can make up some ground here. Outlaw takes the turn very wide here, but it's not enough. Outlaw will have the lead and will beat the FTI Torque across the finish line. And our final race leading into the semifinals, we have Maiden against Monster Energy. Off they go down the starting line at practically the exact same time. Entering the turn, Monster Energy going really good around that turning pole. Into the final turn they go. Monster Energy once again taking it tight, getting really close to the pole once again. And Monster Energy will beat Maiden. Alright, here we have our lineup moving into the semifinals, about half left on half right. So let's see what the semifinals and the final round will bring us. One of these trucks will make it into the World Finals, only Max D already having a ticket, so let's see what happens. Our first race for the semifinals is Arachnophobia and Max D. Down the starting line they go. One of these trucks will make it into the finals. Arachnophobia having some trouble coming off the turn as Max D takes the lead. Into the final turn Max D goes, taking it rather wide. Up Max D goes, and Max D will enter the final round. Our final race for the semifinals is Outlaw and Monster Energy. Off they go, down the starting line, up into the first turn. Outlaw taking it very wide up in the ramp. Both trucks racing down the straightaway. Monster Energy once again taking a very tight turn. But now Outlaw has some time to catch up. Monster Energy goes up the final ramp and will beat Outlaw despite going up the ramp the way he did. Alright, today over here in the right lane we have Max D. There's been a lot of luck over in the right lane, so let's see what Max D has in store for them. And over in their left lane is their competitor, Monster Energy. They've had some pretty good races so far. Let's hope something like last race didn't happen to them. So, one of these trucks will make it to the World Finals. Here they are, Monster Energy and Max D. One of these trucks will be in the World Finals. Up the ramp they go. It's fairly close so far, but Max D pulls ahead slightly. Into the final turn, Max D swings it out. Monster Energy takes it wide. Max D goes up the ramp, and it will be Max D with a second racing win. Here we have our racing winner, Max D. Now, if you remember from the Gillette Stadium event, Max D already has a ticket into the World Finals. However, when we finish freestyle here, and assuming Max D hasn't won freestyle, then there will be 2 more slots left in our roster for the World Finals. So I was thinking we do 1 more event of racing and freestyle, and then we'll have enough trucks in order to have the World Finals I was thinking of. Now the alternative is we just have 2 Max Ds, and then we just do like a freestyle event to fill in that 1 last slot. But it's up to you. Tell me in the comments if you would like to see 2 Max Ds at the World Finals, or if we do 1 more racing and freestyle event. So, I will see you over in freestyle here at the Sun Bowl. Enjoy the rest of this freestyle.